Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Just another quick update on the tank. This episode is going to be about some of the products I use and also some of the results that I've had on my tank over the last 4 or 5 months or so. And also quick update on the tank, good and bad this time. It's not always good in this hobby, but it is what it is, I suppose. We have our ups and we have our downs, but we just get on with it and try and solve the problem and try and address it. And then we, as YouTubers, try to give out the best knowledge what we can of what we've learned, and so hopefully you guys don't make the same mistakes that we've done. Basically, these are some of the products that I use. I use the calcium, the salifert, also the nitrate salifert. I've just bought this today, the Redsea mag. I'll come back onto that in a bit. And also I use the Hano alk checker along with the calcium, but I've run out of the agent for the calcium. And I also run the phosphates, which I really don't test for the phosphates, to be honest. If I do, I just use the salifert phosphate test. And that gives me a rough guide, thing. And then I also use the DJI Osmo gimbal to try and keep it as smooth as possible, the videos I do. These guys on the table are my parameters. So as you can see, there's date, alk, calcium, mag, nitrate. Then on the other side we have the phosphate, the temperature, the salinity, and then the strontium and iodine, what I test for. Don't really test for them now, to be honest, but that is on every solitary page, the same parameters and stuff like that. Basically, going to the October, this was just after my tank had started to crash. Power bar went out. It was left without any oxygen, any heat for around about 11 hours. I don't know how anything survived, to be truthful, but the majority of my corals survived. A couple of fish died, but yeah, that was the start. And then from then on, I thought to myself, that is it. I'm going to monitor it all the time, religiously, and keep a check on it. So as you can see, when I measured it on the 20th, it was reading 9.3, 387 on the calcium, which obviously I needed to get up. Mag 410, nitrate 2 to 5, phosphate, as you can see, basically all the way down is 0. Temperature is always rock steady, 78.2 all the time. Same for the salinity, 1.027. I did have a spike, but this, guys, I think was the time when the Hano checker, which I use, hadn't been calibrated. I only calibrated it every 3 months or so, and that was when I went onto one of my previous videos stating that it was reading like 1.031, 1.032, which absolutely shook me to the core. But yeah, this was the start, I think. So these salinity numbers, I don't know whether these were actually correct or whether it was all the way along, was 1.031, 1.032. There was no adverse effects in my tank. Everything was fine. Corals, all that sort of stuff was all fine. So I'm assuming maybe it happened around this time, around the 11th month or the 12th month, maybe then. But yeah, like I said, all seems to be rock steady. 8.6, 8.5 an alk. Then it went up to 9ish. I tend to run it between 8 and 9, yeah. And now it's rock steady, super rock steady. 8.7, 8.7, 8.8. But as you can see the dates, guys, I'm pretty religious on it. I test like 2 or 3 times a week. Basically because you can check, and then if there is an issue with the tank, at least you know that you've got to address it straight away. But they're just a few things that I use. Now going in to see the tank. Few issues with the tank, guys. You'll probably notice on a couple of them. The Montipora plate, what I absolutely love the red one, which was sat where this torch is now. It's basically, it was like the bigger version of that one there, which was there. Just look on my last video. I've had nudi branks in the tank. I discovered them on my Montipora plate on the underside of it, so I was like, what the hell, because I always dip my coral. Didn't really understand why they were there. So basically I seen some last night, I dipped it, took it out, dipped it again, and came down this morning, it had like a film all over it. So I got the turkey basted and I started to blow it off, to no joy. Basically all the actual skin of it was all just peeling off, and it basically just turned white. In fact, oh no, I actually threw it out. Actually, I thought I had it in the kitchen then, but no, it was basically all turned, it was all dead. So I was absolutely gutted with that. Thought to myself, what am I going to put in its place? And then we had this torch, which was on the ground there, if you remember. So I decided to put it all there, and I think it looks pretty good. Let me know your opinions. Decent amount of flow for it. Not too strong, not too much. So I'll see how it goes, and if it's all right there, then we'll keep it there. But for now, it seems pretty decent. As you can see, guys, the GSP on the back there, on the back wall, this was off this. Well, basically I thought I'd trim some, and as you can see, guys, I trimmed a bit too much. It just basically fell off the rock. The rock came apart, so I chipped it up into 3 bits. So what I'm hoping for is like a carpet on the back. I'm hoping it'll spread. So I'll put some there, I put some there, and I also put some there. The colour on it is really toxic green sort of thing, so I'm hoping that it'll actually spread onto the back wall, and it'll do a nice covering of the wall in like a green carpet. I've seen it on a few other YouTubers. Eat Sleep Reef had it, and a couple of other guys have had it, so it looks really good. So I thought, I'll give it a try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then at least we'll give it a try and a crack, yeah. Other things in my tank, the leopard wrasse that I had in my tank, he has been caught. I've not seen him for at least a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden he was sat on the power head yesterday. Now I managed to catch him. I took him to my local LFS and basically traded him in, and thought to myself, it's I don't like seeing a fish get beaten up and get bullied, and it's just not right. So I thought, let's get him gone, and hopefully into a new home. Took him back to the LFS, and he settled in straight away. So yeah, was really happy with that. That he settled in, and no adverse effects to him really. So yeah, traded him in. As for the future, at the moment, in the next few weeks, I'm going to be getting the Redsea. Basically, I go on holiday, so I wanted to get it put in the Redsea. So when I get somebody to come round and look after the tank, that they don't really need to do anything like changing floss and stuff like that. Now, because I've got low nutrients in my tank, people will say, well, why are you getting a filter roller? Basically, I just want the filter roller for ease of use and as little as possible that I need to do on the tank. As I said, I don't do any water changes or anything like that on the tank, so The least we do on it, the more time we have to enjoy it. So that's my philosophy, that's the way I look at things, and let's see what we can do. But I'm hoping to get that in the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, but it's definitely on its way. The clam doing really, really well. The mantle is opening up perfect. These hammers, the peach hammer that I had, don't know really what happened to that, guys. I had him next to it. This is about 3 videos ago. He was doing well, then all of a sudden just seemed to recede, go into his shell, and basically bailed out. I think he bailed out. I don't really know why, because as you can see, those other 2 hammers, they're perfect, growing, looking big in the tank. They love the flow, same as the torch, same as that torch. So I really don't know what happened with that one, but sometimes we get corals which take to your tanks and sometimes we don't, so it's just a catch-22, but it was £60 down the drain. But it is what it is, I suppose. We live by our mistakes sometimes. Dosing wise, I've got a bit of a problem. I tested my tank like I always do, like I've just said before, and basically my magnesium is around about 1230, 1240. Now I dose the Redsea mag and stuff like that. I put it in on the Redsea calculator to see how much I needed to adjust it, because I wanted to run it around 1350-ish, 1360, and it said I needed to dose 378 mil in once. Now obviously I had to double check and double check, because I was like, you know, what the hell, that can't be right. I went on another couple of forums and did the calculator on there, and it was correct. So basically I've dosed 150 mil today, and I'm going to dose another 150 mil tomorrow. But I'm also dosing in between around 60 mil, I think it is 60 mil, yeah, 60, 70 mil daily as well of it, just to raise it up. I didn't want to raise it up too quick. I know people say that you can raise it up by about 100 ppm a day, but I don't really want to shock the system. It's all looking pretty good, so let's dose it half and half and see how that goes, and then raise it up in between. So yeah, but I'm thinking of changing over onto a different product. Redsea is good, but you know, 5 litre tubs of all trace elements are working out at about £98, £89 to £90 in the UK, which will probably be around $100 odd in the US. So yeah, pretty expensive. I've looked into it. I've looked at the Aquaforest 123 Plus. That looks a pretty decent choice. Some really good reviews on that. And also I've looked at the I've forgotten the name of them now. The other, I'll come back to you. I'm not sure. I've looked at that one. Couple of options. The ATI it is. It's the ATI Pro 1 and 2. I've looked at that as well. All decent options to look into, but I think the Aquaforest is the one I'm going to go for. So if you've got any information on that, if you guys use it, just let me know in the comments below, and tell me what you think of it. See if you like it or you don't, what's good and what's bad, and yeah, basically let me know. See if you think I should use that, start using that, because it's getting a bit expensive for all these elements, especially as my tank is growing, and it's yeah, it's just getting a bit too expensive for me to keep buying all these the Redsea. So yeah, if you leave a comment or a like in the description below, and let me know what you think, whether I should change over onto the Aquaforest, or whether I should change over onto the ATI, and let me know what you think. Anyway guys, quick update, thanks for watching. Hope you all have a a good day and happy reefing. Cheers, guys.